Imagine a vibrant life filled with joy, travel, and cherished moments. Now, imagine a sudden, life-altering event that threatens to take it all away. For many women over 50, the silent threat of stroke becomes a very real concern, often whispered about in hushed tones or even worse, ignored. My friends, Alex, Cora, and Bella, all in their late 52nds, recently found themselves grappling with this very fear. Alex, a retired teacher known for her boundless energy, had a scare or mini stroke that shook her to her core. It wasn't just a wake-up call for her, but for Cora, a meticulous planner, and Bella, a free-spirited artist, who suddenly realized they knew surprisingly little about their own risks. This experience sparked a crucial conversation among them. What really happens to a woman's body after 50 that impacts stroke risk? And more specifically, how do those pesky hormones play a role? If you're a woman over 50 or care for one, this video is for you. We're diving deep into the often overlooked connection between postmenopausal hormonal changes and increased stroke risk, equipping you with the knowledge to protect your vibrant future. Before we delve into the hormonal intricacies, let's ensure we're all on the same page about what a stroke actually island. A stroke occurs when the blood supply to part of your brain is interrupted or reduced, depriving brain tissue of oxygen and nutrients. Within minutes, brain cells begin to die. There are two main types: ischemic strokes, which account for about 87% of all strokes caused by a clot blocking a blood vessel to the brain, and hemorrhagic strokes caused by a blood vessel rupturing and bleeding into the brain. Both are medical emergencies, and recognizing the signs, think fast, face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty, time to call emergency services, is critical. A warning stroke where blood flow is temporarily blocked, but it resolves before permanent damage occurs. Her doctor explained that it's a strong predictor of a future full-blown stroke, especially for women. This made Cora, ever the researcher, start digging into why women specifically face a higher lifetime risk of stroke than men, and why this risk escalates so significantly after menopause. It's a question many women ask, and the answer lies, in large part, within our changing hormonal landscape. The journey through menopause is a natural, yet often challenging, phase in a woman's life. It's not a single event, but a transition that unfolds over years, marked by significant hormonal shifts. This journey typically begins with perimenopause, often starting in a woman's 40s, where hormone levels, particularly estrogen, begin to fluctuate wildly. Think of it like a roller coaster. One month you might have a surge, the next a dip, leading to unpredictable symptoms like hot flashes, mood swings, and irregular periods. Bella, who always prided herself on her regularity, found these changes baffling and frustrating, often dismissing them as just getting older. Then comes menopause, itself officially diagnosed after 12 consecutive months without a menstrual period. This marks the permanent cessation of ovarian function, meaning your ovaries have stopped releasing eggs and producing most of their estrogen. Finally, we enter postmenopause, which is the rest of a woman's life after menopause. It's during this phase that the prolonged absence of estrogen really starts to exert its influence on various bodily systems, including the cardiovascular system. The key hormones here are estrogen and progesterone. while progesterone also declines, is the dramatic and sustained drop in estrogen, specifically estradiol, that is most implicated in cardiovascular health. Estrogen is a powerful hormone, and its decline is not just about hot flashes. It's about a fundamental shift in how your body protects your heart and blood vessels. Cora remembered her grandmother, who had a stroke in her early 60s, and wondered if her menopausal experience was similar. This period of hormonal flux and eventual decline sets the stage for many physiological changes that directly affect stroke risk. To truly grasp why estrogen's decline is so critical, we need to understand the incredible protective role it plays times before times menopause. For decades, estrogen acts as a guardian of your cardiovascular system. Think of it as a diligent manager, keeping everything running smoothly. Firstly, estrogen helps maintain the flexibility and elasticity of your blood vessels, allowing them to expand and contract efficiently. This is crucial for regulating blood pressure. Secondly, it has a beneficial effect on cholesterol levels, helping to increase good HDL cholesterol and decrease bad LDL cholesterol, which prevents plaque buildup in the arteries. Thirdly, estrogen acts as a natural anti-inflammatory, reducing chronic inflammation that can damage blood vessel walls. And finally, it influences blood clotting, generally promoting a more balanced state. Bella, recalling her annual checkups, mentioned how her blood pressure and cholesterol were always perfect before she hit her late 40s. She had taken it for granted. But after menopause, with a sharp and sustained drop in estrogen, these protective effects are significantly diminished or even lost. The diligent manager has retired. This leaves your blood vessels more rigid, less responsive, and more susceptible to damage. LDL cholesterol can rise while HDL may decrease, accelerating atherosclerosis, the hardening and narrowing of arteries. Inflammation can become more rampant, further injuring vessel walls. The delicate balance in blood clotting can shift, increasing the propensity for clots to form. This loss of estrogen's protective shield is a major reason why women's risk of heart disease and stroke begins to catch up to, and sometimes even surpass men's risk after menopause. It's a profound physiological shift that demands our attention. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty science behind how times the decline in estrogen specifically elevates stroke risk. This isn't just a vague connection. There are distinct physiological pathways at play. First, we have dyslipidemia. As estrogen levels drop, many women experience an unfavorable shift in their lipid profile. This means an increase in bad LDL cholesterol and triglycerides, and a decrease in good HDL cholesterol. This imbalance significantly contributes to the buildup of fatty plaques in the arteries, a process called atherosclerosis, which is the primary cause of ischemic strokes. Alex, remembering her doctor's concern about her rising cholesterol post-menopause, nodded in understanding. Second, endothelial dysfunction. The endothelium is the inner lining of your blood vessels, and it plays a crucial role in maintaining vascular health. Estrogen helps keep this lining healthy, flexible, and non-sticky. Without adequate estrogen, the endothelium can become dysfunctional, leading to reduced ability of blood vessels to dilate, increased inflammation, and a greater tendency for blood cells to stick to the vessel walls, further promoting plaque formation and clot risk. Third, increased inflammation. Estrogen has anti-inflammatory properties. Its decline can lead to a state of chronic, low-grade systemic inflammation throughout the body. This inflammation is a key driver of atherosclerosis, directly damaging blood vessel walls and making them more prone to plaque rupture and clot formation. Fourth, coagulation changes. Postmenopause, women can experience changes in their blood's clotting factors. Some studies suggest an increased tendency for blood to clot, which, when combined with endothelial dysfunction and plaque buildup, significantly raises the risk of a blood clot forming and traveling to the brain. Finally, blood pressure fluctuations. While not solely hormonally driven, the loss of estrogen can make women more susceptible to developing or worsening hypertension. Estrogen helps relax blood vessels, and without it, vessels can become stiffer, leading to higher blood pressure, a leading risk factor for both ischemic and hemorrhagic strokes. Understanding these specific mechanisms empowers us to take targeted preventive measures. While hormonal changes are a significant piece of the puzzle, they rarely act in isolation. They often interact with and exacerbate other established stroke risk factors, creating a more dangerous scenario for women over 50. Think of it as a domino effect, where one falling domino, hormonal change, can trigger many others. Age itself is a primary risk factor for stroke, and when combined with the hormonal shifts of menopause, the risk increases synergistically. It's not just about getting older, it's about how times you're getting older and the physiological transformations occurring. Secondly, pre-existing conditions like hypertension, high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol become even more critical after menopause. The protective effects of estrogen previously helped mitigate these conditions, but once that protection is gone, these risk factors can worsen or become harder to manage. Cora, who had borderline hypertension for years, found her blood pressure readings creeping up after menopause, despite no major lifestyle changes. Her doctor emphasized that what was manageable before now required more aggressive attention. And then there are lifestyle factors. Smoking, a sedentary lifestyle, poor diet, and excessive alcohol consumption are detrimental at any age, but their impact is magnified post-menopause. Smoking, for example, not only damages blood vessels but also interferes with estrogen metabolism, creating a double whammy. Common mistakes to avoid. A critical mistake many women make is attributing all new symptoms, fatigue, weight gain, mood changes, even slight memory lapses, solely to old age or just menopause, without considering their potential impact on cardiovascular health. It's easy to dismiss a subtle rise in blood pressure or cholesterol as normal for my age, but post-menopause, these changes demand proactive management. Another mistake is assuming that if you felt fine before menopause, you'll continue to be low risk. The hormonal shift is a game changer. Alex, Cora, and Bella discuss their own habits, realizing how some of their long-standing routines might need adjustment in light of this new understanding. Bella admitted she'd been less active and more prone to comfort eating since her energy levels dropped. This realization sparked a determination to re-evaluate their health strategies. Now, let's address a topic that often comes with a lot of confusion and conflicting information: hormone replacement therapy, or HRT. For some women, HRT can be a valuable tool in managing menopausal symptoms and potentially offering some cardiovascular benefits. However, its relationship with stroke risk is nuanced and depends heavily on individual factors. The key here is timing, hypothesis, or window of opportunity. Research suggests that HRT may be most beneficial and safest for cardiovascular health when initiated early times in menopause, ideally within 10 years of menopause onset or before age 60. During this window, HRT might help preserve the health of arteries. However, if HRT is started much later, especially many years after menopause, when atherosclerosis may already be established, it can actually increase stroke risk. This because introducing hormones into already compromised blood vessels might destabilize plaques or increase clotting tendencies. There are also different types of HRT and delivery methods: estrogen-only therapy or combined estrogen-progestin therapy. Oral estrogen, for instance, passes through the liver, potentially influencing clotting factors more than transdermal, patch, or gel estrogen. This is why a personalized approach is absolutely crucial. HRT is not a one-size-fits-all solution. It's for specific women, often those with severe menopausal symptoms, who are within that window of opportunity and have carefully discussed their personal risk factors with their healthcare provider. Bella mentioned her friend who tried HRT in her late 60 seconds and experienced side effects, whereas another friend who started it younger found great relief. This highlights the complexity. The decision to use HRT and what type should always be a shared one between you and your doctor, weighing your individual benefits against potential risks, especially concerning stroke. It's about an informed, evidence-based conversation, not a blanket recommendation or rejection. Whether or not HRT is right for you, the most powerful tools in your arsenal for reducing stroke risk are proactive lifestyle strategies. These aren't just general health tips. They are specifically impactful in the post-menopausal body. Let's break them down. First, dietary changes. Adopt a heart-healthy eating pattern. Think DASH dietary approaches to stop hypertension or the Mediterranean diet. This means focusing on whole, unprocessed foods. Plenty of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats. Limit saturated and trans fats, added sugars, and excessive sodium. For Alex, she worked with a dietitian to overhaul her diet, incorporating more plant-based meals and reducing processed foods. She found it surprisingly enjoyable. Second, regular physical activity. Aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic exercise or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity exercise per week, combined with muscle strengthening activities twice a week. Exercise helps manage blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, and weight, all critical for stroke prevention. Cora, who loved her daily walks, started incorporating light strength training, feeling stronger and more energetic. Third, weight management. Maintaining a healthy weight significantly reduces your risk of hypertension, diabetes, and high cholesterol. all exacerbated after menopause. Fourth, stress reduction. Chronic stress can elevate blood pressure and inflammation. Incorporate stress-reducing practices like meditation, yoga, deep breathing, or spending time in nature. Bella, the artist, found solace and stress relief in her painting and daily mindfulness exercises. Fifth, quit smoking and moderate alcohol intake. These are non-negotiable. Smoking is a major modifiable risk factor. If you smoke, seek support to quit. If you drink alcohol, do so in moderation. Generally, no more than 1 drink per day for women. Regular screenings and communication with healthcare providers are paramount. Don't skip your annual physicals. Get your blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar checked regularly. Be an advocate for yourself. Come prepared to appointments with questions about your menopausal changes and their impact on your cardiovascular health. Ask about your stroke risk score. Discuss your family history. Alex, Cora, and Bella decided to create a wellness pact, committing to supporting each other in these lifestyle changes. They scheduled regular check-ins and even signed up for a healthy cooking class together. This collaborative approach made the journey feel less daunting and more empowering. Remember, knowledge is power, and consistent action is protection. Take these steps to build your personalized risk reduction plan. We've covered a lot of ground today, but the core message is clear. Hormonal changes after 50 significantly impact a woman's stroke risk. We explored how the decline in estrogen diminishes its protective effects on blood vessels, cholesterol, and inflammation. We delved into specific mechanisms like dyslipidemia and endothelial dysfunction, and understood how these hormonal shifts interact with other risk factors. We also navigated the complexities of HRT, and most importantly, outlined powerful, proactive lifestyle strategies you can implement right now. Alex, Cora, and Bella's journey from concern to informed action beautifully illustrates that understanding your risks is the first step towards a healthier, stroke-free future. If this video has shed light on your health concerns or inspired you to take action, please give it a thumbs up. Your likes help us reach more women who need this vital information. Share your own experiences or questions in the comments below. Your insights can help countless others. And if you haven't already, subscribe to CareWiseSenior for more expert-led, empowering content designed for your best years. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for joining us on this essential journey of understanding. Remember, your health is your greatest asset, and being informed is your best defense. As Alex, Cora, and Bella continue their wellness journey, they're now curious. How does stroke risk compare between men and women over 50? And what are the specific lifestyle differences that play a role? That's exactly what we'll explore in our next video. Stroke risk in men versus women over 50. Lifestyle differences explained. Stay tuned, stay informed, and stay well.